Once upon a time, in a bustling city nestled at the edge of a vast desert, there lived a poor but spirited young man named Aladdin. His family was humble, and though his mother worked tirelessly to provide for them, life was a struggle. Aladdin was often distracted by dreams of a life of luxury and adventure. He would wander through the crowded marketplace, imagining himself as a prince, adorned in golden robes, with servants at his command. One day, as Aladdin was strolling through the marketplace, he caught the eye of a mysterious old man, who wore a long, tattered cloak and a turban that shadowed his face. The man approached Aladdin, his eyes gleaming with hidden knowledge. "You, young man, have great potential," the old man said in a gravelly voice. "I can help you rise from your humble beginnings and achieve wealth beyond your wildest dreams." Aladdin, curious but wary, asked, "And how would you do that, old man?" The stranger smiled cryptically. "There is a secret buried beneath the sands of the desert, a treasure unlike any other, waiting for someone brave enough to claim it. I can guide you there if you're willing to follow." Intrigued by the possibility of riches and adventure, Aladdin agreed without fully understanding the risks. The old man led him to a remote part of the desert, where the winds howled across the dunes like whispers from the past. At the edge of an ancient cave, the old man handed Aladdin a small, intricately carved lamp. "Inside this lamp lies the key to unimaginable power," he explained. "But be warned, it will not be easy. You must enter the cave, retrieve the lamp, and return before the sands of time slip away." Aladdin, feeling a strange mix of excitement and fear, took the lamp and entered the dark cave. Inside, the air was thick with mystery, and the walls seemed to hum with ancient magic. He navigated through the winding tunnels, his heart pounding with every step. At last, in the deepest part of the cave, he found a pedestal, upon which sat the lamp. As Aladdin reached out to take it, a sudden rumble shook the cave. A cloud of dust swirled around him, and he found himself standing face to face with a towering figure, his eyes glowing like fiery embers. "I am the Genie of the lamp," the great being boomed, his voice echoing through the cave like a thunderclap. "You have freed me, young master. As my liberator, you are entitled to 3 wishes, but choose wisely, for once granted they cannot be undone." Aladdin, his mind racing, took a step back. The genie's form shimmered with incredible power, his body shifting from smoke to solid flesh and back again. His eyes gleamed with ancient knowledge, and his smile held a promise of both wonder and danger. "3 wishes?" Aladdin repeated, his voice trembling with excitement. "Anything I want?" "Anything," the genie replied with a grin. "Wealth, power, love, or knowledge. The choice is yours." Aladdin's heart swelled with ambition. He had dreamed of riches all his life, of living a life of comfort and luxury. Without hesitation, he made his first wish. "I wish to be a prince with riches beyond measure." The genie raised his hands, and in a flash of blinding light, Aladdin was transformed. His tattered clothes were replaced by opulent robes, his modest home turned into a magnificent palace, and his humble surroundings became a kingdom of untold wealth. The people in the city marveled at his sudden rise to power, and Aladdin reveled in the luxury he had always dreamed of. But as time passed, Aladdin began to realize that his newfound riches did not bring him happiness. His heart longed for something more. He missed his simple life, the freedom of wandering the marketplace and the warmth of his mother's love. He also found himself restless, as if something was missing. Though he had everything he thought he wanted, he felt trapped in a gilded cage. Aladdin turned to the genie once again. "I wish to marry the princess of this kingdom," he declared. He had seen the beautiful Princess Jasmine during his rise to power, and had fallen in love with her grace and intelligence. She was kind-hearted, and Aladdin dreamed of winning her love. The genie nodded, his eyes gleaming. "Your wish is granted." In an instant, Aladdin found himself standing before Princess Jasmine in her palace, offering her his heart. At first, she was taken by his charm and his grandeur, but as they spent more time together, she began to see through the facade. She saw Aladdin's inner conflict, his struggle with the life he had chosen, and the longing in his eyes for something more meaningful than wealth and titles. "I see the truth in your heart," Jasmine said softly one evening as they strolled through the royal gardens. "You are not truly a prince, are you, Aladdin?" Aladdin sighed deeply, his heart heavy with guilt. "No, I am not. I am just a man who has had everything but has lost himself in the process." Jasmine smiled gently and took his hand. "Then why don't you ask the genie for something different? You have one wish left." Aladdin hesitated. He thought long and hard about what truly mattered to him. His mind raced through the possibilities. More riches, more power, more glory. But none of those things brought him peace. He realized that what he really wanted was to be true to himself, to live a life of love and honesty, free from the shackles of his pretended grandeur. "I wish to be myself again," Aladdin said, his voice steady. "I want to live a life of meaning, not of riches. I want to be true to who I am and find happiness in simple things." The genie, who had been watching quietly, nodded in understanding. "Your wish is granted." In a flash of light, Aladdin was returned to his former self, no longer a prince, but a young man with a heart full of hope and purpose. The grand palace faded away, and the marketplace where he had once wandered was restored to its familiar chaos. But Aladdin was no longer lost in dreams of wealth and power. He had found something far more valuable, the wisdom to understand that happiness did not lie in gold or titles, but in living authentically. Aladdin and Jasmine, now free from the burdens of pretense, spent their days helping others, sharing their love, and building a life of meaning. The city, which had once been a place of distance and division, became a community of compassion, where the poor and the rich, the powerful and the humble, lived together in harmony. And so, Aladdin's final wish had been the most powerful of all, a life of truth, love, and the freedom to be himself. The genie, now forever free, watched from afar with a smile, knowing that the greatest magic of all was the magic of the heart. And they all lived happily ever after. Moral: true happiness doesn't come from wealth or power. It comes from living authentically, embracing love, and finding peace within yourself. Even the greatest treasures are of little value unless you are true to who you really are.